Here on the Isle of Lewis, I've been following in the footsteps of Mary Ann MacLeod, the late mother of President-elect Donald Trump. Mary Ann experienced a hard life here, and the First World War had devastated the male population and the chances of a young woman getting married.
To make matters worse, Mary Ann was the youngest of 10 children, and only one son could inherit the family croft. You can understand why she decided to follow her sisters to a new life 3,000 miles away in New York City.
Mary Ann arrived in 1930, and 6 years later she married Frederick Trump, with whom she had 5 children, the most famous, Donald.
As the child of immigrants, his mother in particular thought it was important to make sure that her children grew up going to church and knowing their understanding of their Christian faith through church attendance.
At a Presbyterian church in Manhattan, Donald Trump met his greatest spiritual influence, the controversial pastor Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who wrote the international bestseller, The Power of Positive Thinking.
His most famous book put forth a philosophy that if you thought good things would come your way, then good things would come your way. And if you changed your attitude, then your life around you would change. Many Christians objected because it didn't adequately handle the reality of suffering in the world and the reality of evil.
While some distanced themselves from the Peale theology, Donald Trump was a close friend. The pastor officiated at family occasions, including the funeral of his mother, Mary Ann. Donald Trump made a name for himself as a property tycoon and star of The Apprentice USA. In 2008, he visited Lewis with his eldest sister to explore his roots. Today I'm retracing his steps with Ian McIver, a local journalist who was there that day.
This house here is where his mother was born and brought up. So Donald Trump himself came here to have a look. We were all waiting at Stornoway Airport, and Trump landed, and with great ceremony, and he appeared at the stop, and very presidential looking back at it. He sort of stepped into a limo and was swept off. It was almost like a foretaste of what was to come.
The house has remained in the family, so the visit was also a reunion.
The cousins were assembled and waiting, and they all went in. We are told that he had a quick tour of the house. It didn't take long. Within a few minutes he was back out battling the wind again.
I won't say you're fired, right? Or you can do that one as well.
Donald Trump is a controversial character, to say the least. Is it difficult for the MacLeod family to be in the spotlight in the way that they've had to be recently?
The cousins, they have decided amongst themselves that the best thing to do, at least for the moment, is to say nothing at all, and they certainly have no intention of upsetting, their cousin.
What do you think Donald Trump might have got from his Lewis heredity that would prove useful for Donald Trump in his presidency?
We may already be seeing some of the Lewis background, the traits coming through in Donald Trump, in that he says what he thinks, whether he's saying you're fired or whether he's giving his views about immigration. So although there are reserved people, when they're put on the spot, island people too will usually tell you exactly what they think, whether you like it or not.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay categorical?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you stay categorical?
Donald Trump is no stranger to controversy, as evidenced again this week. And after a divisive election campaign, it's not just Lewis people who are wondering what sort of president he's going to be.
He has often in the campaign put people against one another. Whether he will keep that up during the presidency, we don't know.
I brought my Bible. See?
He has said that he wants to be a great representative of Christianity in the presidency. And so I think I, for one, will be looking to him to see what that looks like.
Thank you.
Christianity isn't something that you just say or you believe, it's something you do. And so I'll be watching.
What a mighty God we serve. What a
Next week, we're in Hull, the 2017 UK City of Culture. But we end today with a hymn, a beautiful hymn, from Scotland's capital. Bye for now.
Next, actor Stephen McGann explores the history of midwifery and the stories behind Call the Midwife in the Casebook. And at 6:30, Country File are with the team mapping the DNA of every plant in the country at the National Botanic Garden.